Hello, everyone. Grandma D here. I am very excited to bring you a brand new storytime series. I had made a previous announcement on my channel that we were starting a brand new Disney Princess storytime series. Each story in this series is about a Disney princess who she and her friends recognize and learn a life lesson, and other people in their books may learn a life lesson as well. So, before we get started, I would just like to say that I hope that you or your adult will subscribe to my channel, like this video, so that you will know when all future storytime videos come out, and ring the notification bell. That would help me very much. And if you have a favorite book that you would maybe like to have me feature on my channel, or maybe just tell me about, you can reach out to me at the contents below this video, and I would love to know what you enjoy reading, what your favorite stories are, what your favorite characters are. If you have a favorite Disney character, I would love to hear about that. So, without any further ado, we are going to get started with the first book in our Disney series. This one is called Sweet Success, a story about sharing. This book is by Jacqueline A. And is illustrated by Caveman Productions. That sounds kind of funny, doesn't it? So, without any further ado, let's get started. All finished, said Cinderella, holding up a drawing of a cake for her mice friends to see. Pretty, Cinderella, admired Jack. Pretty, pretty, echoed Gus, who was busy piling up berries. I'm going to bake a cake like this for the festival tomorrow, Cinderella told them. I've already measured and put aside all the ingredients. Isn't that a beautiful cake? Every year, the village held a festival to celebrate the king's birthday. Most popular event was His Royal Highness's most supremely special birthday cake contest. The judge was none other than the king himself. Mistress Muffin usually wins, Sorella told Jack. But Cinderella! A voice interrupted from downstairs. Where's our lunch? Coming, stepmother, Cinderella called. She stuffed the drawing into her apron pocket and dashed down the stairs. In the kitchen, Cinderella quickly made lunch. Here, Jack and Gus, she said, handing them a small piece of cheese. Share this with your friends. She picked up a tray and hurried through the door to the dining room. What took you so long? Asked her stepmother. Her eyes fell on the paper in Cinderella's apron pocket. She leaned forward and snatched it. What have here? Uh-oh. There's Cinderella. There's her two stepsisters and her stepmother. It's an idea I had for a cake, Cinderella explained, for the festival. Cinderella's stepmother gave her a mean little smile. You may have permission to make a cake after you completely clean the house from top to bottom, and after my daughters have baked their own prize winning creations. her stepmother finished. With a wink, she passed Cinderella's sketch to Anastasia and Drizella. Hmm. Hmm. Cinderella scrubbed and swept and polished and dusted. Finally, she finished. I barely have time to bake my cake. It's a good thing I've already put aside all the ingredients. Just then, two voices screeched from the kitchen, Cinderella! That's a lot of work. Hmm. Oh my, Cinderella exclaimed as she entered the kitchen. She made me ruin my cake, shouted both sisters at once. Two cakes were on the table. One was flat as a pancake, one was burnt to a crisp. Let's clean up this mess, and you can start again, said Cinderella kindly. She began to sweep. Uh-oh. Looks like they don't know what they're doing. Hmm. I'm not cleaning, said Anastasia. She grabbed the measuring cups from her sister and slipped on some eggs. Crash! She hit the ground. Well, I'm not cleaning either, shouted Drizella. She snatched a mixing bowl and slipped on some spilled sugar. Smash! Look what you've done, both sisters shouted at each other. Sounds to me like they're pretty selfish. What do you think? Cinderella shook her head. The sacks were half empty. Many eggs were broken. There weren't enough ingredients left to make another big cake. Cinderella paused. The ingredients she'd put aside were hidden away under a tablecloth. She could share them with her stepsisters, but then she would not have enough to make a big cake of her own. I wonder what she's going to do. What do you think? What would a princess do? I know, Cinderella said softly. You can have some of my ingredients and make one large cake together. Greedily, the sisters pounced on them. They mixed and stirred and poured, threw everything into a pan, and soon they had a cake. Well, it was sort of a cake. Hmm. It's gorgeous, bragged Anastasia. It's prize winning, added Drizella. It's done, whispered Jack to Gus. The stepsisters left, leaving Cinderella to clean up once again. She sighed as she saw how few ingredients were left. Just then, Jack and Gus got her attention. Here's Cinderella, for you, they called. She looked down and saw little piles of berries, nuts, flowers, and other things. You share with us, Gus began, and we share with you, finished Jack. Oh, how sweet, said Cinderella. Thank you. Oh, aren't they cute? Cute little mice. Look at that cake. I don't think that's going to win any prizes. Hmm. Cinderella stirred nuts and berries into a honey sweetened mixture and baked it. Then she decorated her cake with flowers. It's not what I planned, she thought, but it's special because my friends shared their food with me and helped me make it. The next morning, the stepsisters rushed into the kitchen, arguing. I'll carry it, Anastasia. No, I'll carry it. They tugged and yanked and pushed and pulled until. Uh-oh. Looks like there's going to be a problem. Look at Cinderella's cake. See that? Very pretty. Splat! Now we'll never win, wailed Drizella. It's all your fault, screamed Anastasia. The sisters glared at each other above the ruined cake. You can share my cake, Cinderella offered. We can all enter it together. The stepsisters glanced down their noses at the small cake. That puny pile of crumbs, sniffed Anastasia. Drizella folded her arms. I'd rather not go at all. There's Cinderella's cake right there. There's their cake on the floor. So Cinderella went to the festival with only her animal friends for company. Cinderella placed her cake on a long table. Oh dear, she thought, my cake does look small compared to the others. Just then, trumpets sounded. The judging was about to begin. Slowly, the king made his way down the line of cakes. He took a bite of each one. There she's going to the festival. She's got the mice in her pocket and her bird friends and a little squirrel. And there's the king walking down, trying all the cakes. I wonder what he'll think. When the king tasted Cinderella's cake, he smiled. He took a second bite. He whispered to the Duke. Next, he took a bite of the big cake, castle-shaped cake, made by Mistress Muffin. The king continued taking bites of the two cakes, first Cinderella's, then Mistress Muffin's. Everyone at the festival wondered which cake the king would choose. I wonder what he whispered to the Duke. The winner of His Royal Highness's most supremely special birthday cake contest is Mistress Muffin, announced the Duke. But Cinderella, protested Jack, your cake was the best. Now, said Cinderella, the king has chosen well. Then the trumpets sounded once again. But, called the Duke, for a cake as natural and fresh as the forest, whose delectable, delicious distinction has delighted the royal taste buds, a special prize goes to Cinderella. Yay! How wonderful! Good for her. There's Mistress Muffin getting her prize. I bet she was excited. Cinderella brought cake home for all her friends to share. That night they all gathered round, and Cinderella, Jack, and Gus shared the story of their sweet success. The end. What a wonderful story. Aren't the little mice cute? What do you think? Do you think that Cinderella's stepsisters maybe had a lesson to learn about sharing and being kind to others and treating each other fairly, and maybe treating their sister Cinderella fairly? We need to be kind to each other, share a little bit of what we have, and it will come back to us. I hope that you enjoyed the story about sharing sweet success with Cinderella. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad that you were able to join me today for story time. And I want you to know that Grandma D loves you very much. And I think about you all the time. And that I hope that you have a wonderful evening and a better day tomorrow, wherever you are in the world, whether you're going to bed at night, getting up in the morning, getting ready for school, or going out to play with your friends, or it's mid-afternoon and you're sitting on the couch listening to Grandma read you a story. I hope that you'll join me next time for our next story in the Princess series about life lessons. So this is Grandma D saying, I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.